If you're anything like me when you're playing games like Granblue Fantasy, you're gonna love trying out loads of different characters. Same in Monster Hunter World and other games like that, I'll be trying out lots of different weapons and maining a few rather than just sticking on one. I'm Laddered Up Dan, and on this channel we cover action RPGs, roguelikes, and MMOs to name a few. Let's get to it. If you are like me, I'm sure you're acutely aware that does tend to become very expensive in video games monies quite quickly. Granblue Fantasy Relink is no different because the cost to upgrade your weapons at the blacksmith is quite expensive. Maxing out your weapons and increasing the upgrade limit of them does cost quite a bit. Not to mention actually crafting other weapons too. While you're going to be finding that you're running out of rupees quite quickly, thankfully you can farm for them quite easily. While there are survival quests that you can do to get the drops that you can sell directly for money, that's their only purpose, is to sell them for money. I'm not going to be focusing on those missions. I finished chapter 5 in the main story, which isn't super early and it's not super late either for the amount of time that I've been playing, and I can already tell you that would be an inefficient use of your time with the current side quests that are available. Instead, I'm going to draw your attention to a couple of bosses that you should be able to do pretty early on. The first one is Worried About Papa, puts you up against the Quackadile. This is a level 8 boss, it's pretty straightforward. If you've tried the demo, it was in that as well. What is absolutely pivotal with this methodology is that you are comfortably able to get all 3 side objectives every single time. Quackadile Roly Boy here being level 8 should mean that you should be able to do this from quite an early stage in the game. If you are struggling and you're able to do so, maybe play online and see if you can get a group going. After taking it down, you'll be rewarded with 3 to 4 land beast claws and 1 land beast plate, provided that you got all 3 optional objectives. It's not the end of the world if you can't and you only got 2, because it will still work with 2 as well, just not as effectively. With the claws, you'll get 3 for the objective and you should get 1 in the drops as well, I've noticed. I'm not sure if this is every time, but if it is, awesome. As well as these materials being useful for crafting, you can also sell them for rupees. The claws go for 1400 rupees each and the plate goes for 3400. At 4 claws, that's 9000 rupees a run. Not bad at all, bearing in mind you're also getting other materials and mastery points for doing this too. In the quest reward screen, make sure that you toggle repeat so that you can just do it again really easily without having to go back to the hub. And before you know it, you're farming for rupees and getting pretty good everything else, including mastery points along the way. If you're a little bit further along in the story and your team's a bit more powerful, I'd actually recommend doing another one. The side quest Defeat Goblin Boss follows the exact same premise as the Quackadile, except you're facing off against the Goblin Warrior that's level 15. Same thing applies here. You're going to want to be able to get all 3 optional objectives. If you can only get 2, it's not the end of the world, but you really want to be able to get all 3. This should be pretty simple and straightforward, but like with the previous quest, it really does depend on your party's power. And when I say power, I don't really mean the game's power, which is boosted massively by HP, I mean your attack. Here you'll get 4 Chieftain's Braids and 1 Great Shield Fragment. After you're done sniffing the locks, you can sell them for 1400 each like you can with the claws. And similarly, the shield fragments go for 3400 each. So once more, you're making 9k rupees for doing a really quick quest which you can put on repeat and just farm away. What I really like about the Goblin Warrior quest is you're getting 30 mastery per run. That is going to add up really quickly, and when you get back to town, you're going to be able to do loads of mastery tree unlocking. The beauty of this, of course, is if you actually need any of these parts, you can just hold back on some of them. You don't have to sell them all. And there you have it, 2 reliable ways for you folks to be able to farm a good amount of rupees and a bunch of other things really early on in the game. Hopefully this was helpful for you, and if you've got any other side quests that you do to farm rupees, do let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, you can subscribe for more action RPGs, roguelikes, and MMOs, including Granblue Fantasy Relink and Monster Hunter World, and so many more. I am planning on making an absolute ton of Granblue Fantasy Relink content. Guides, quest roundups, character breakdowns, all that sort of good stuff. But until next time, I'll see you in the Sky Realm.